Yep, so we're live right now on another UmbraCoffee, episode 3. We are in the different places. I'm in New York today. I don't know where are you exactly, but I'm running Umbraco exam training today. And so I have two guys with me here. Two last guys who survived with me. And we are here with Callum and Ismail on the other side. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So how are you? How's the weather in England?
It's sunny in London today, which is better than we've had the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's sunny up here as well. It's about -2 in the morning. We'd had a bit of haily snow, and now it's just really bright, which is why I've had to move around to try and get the lighting just right. Although it's still not quite right, but there you go.
Yeah, it was tough setup from the very beginning. Yeah, so it was a great week in the Umbraco community, right?
Yes.
There is a lot of things going on. What we can start to talk about. We have this training discount which ended yesterday, right? On Wednesday, the day before. So it was 25% discount for trainings. So I'm really curious if a lot of people tried and applied for it and will use it in the new year. And I hope that Umbraco will release more of those in the future, because it will bring more people to trainings, and yeah, it will definitely increase the knowledge across the community. And yeah, Ismail, do you have any trainings scheduled for next year? Or
yeah, the schedule. So I've got the last one next week. It's going to be in London, the examine one. We've got, I think, about 10 people on that. A couple of Polish guys as well. I don't know whether they're flying over from Poland or whether they are actually just native Polish working in London or something. And I've also had to stand in for Per on the Thursday. So he was supposed to be running. So I think Doug's doing the Monday next week, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was supposed to be Per, but I think he's heading back a bit early. So I'm standing in for him on Thursday. So I'll be running the advanced MVC one on the Thursday, and then obviously the examine one on the Friday. But the schedule for 2018 is up as well. And it's looking quite busy, which my wife isn't too pleased about, because it means I'll be away for quite a few days. But we've gone from, so last year we did, in the UK, we did Manchester a few times, London a few times, Bristol once. And for the rest of the schedule for 2018, we've got, again, London and Manchester, but Bristol and also Glasgow, which should be, I'm looking forward to that one. So,
yeah. I also need to sit down and just plan ahead, because I really want to expand this possibilities to put Polish community, and we've been doing it for the whole year right now. And I'm writing a summary of all the activities in Polish community from this year, and numbers are really great. So I want to keep those numbers high in the next year as well. So yeah, fingers crossed for people here to mobilize and attend trainings and learn more about Umbraco.
cool.
Yeah, that will be good plan for next year. Shall we jump to the news section from this week? Callum, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So Paul, I guess last week he's released like a starter kit for Umbraco. If I share my screen, I can just talk you through it. So yeah, so he's released this co-chair starter kit, which uses Bootstrap and kind of sets up a few different properties, comes with a default theme. There's a nice demo site that you can look at. I recall that he shared the credentials to this, so you can play around in the back office too. The idea of the site was just to give a way for people to very easily set up a nice Umbraco site, and with little effort. Looks pretty cool. I think he's been talking about doing this sort of thing for a while, but looks pretty full-featured, and yeah.
Yeah, I've been invited to test it and to play with it before it was released, and I've spent some time analyzing code and checking what's there, and this is definitely a good start for everyone who wants to just play with Umbraco. It has a blog section, which is something for what a lot of people is looking for. Paul released this starter kit, and I'm pretty sure that it will help for a lot of people to just start. And if I'm correct, I don't remember, but Paul probably also included the optimization for for some images and things like that inside of it. So it's also just well written and well built. So definitely will be useful.
Yeah.
And we wanted to mention another package last week, but we didn't have time. It was Mapper from James South, and it was something what we wanted to play with more. And as a developers, we are always looking for good solutions which will make our code and life easier and better. And definitely this mapper looks great. James spent a lot of time and effort to build it to fit his needs from the very beginning, which are which we all know that we are sharing same needs and problems usually. So they will be also helpful for us. And yeah, we will definitely want to shoot out to this package and invite people to test it by themselves. And I'm personally, I have it on my to-do list, and I want to play with it in the future. Guys, did you hear about this mapper package?
No.
So not yet. Yeah, I will show it later, and hopefully more people will use it, and it can put additional value to the Umbraco project, I think, at the very end, because having models builder inside the core and I know the other people trying to improve this approach and to try to build something even better sometimes may increase the value of the internal modules and features.
Yeah, and it's also incredibly powerful. It's ridiculously fast. He's got some benchmarks that he's done against the other mappers, so against Ditto and against Models Builder in the GitHub repo. We'll post some links in the description of the video. But yeah, it looks incredibly powerful. I, again, also haven't had a chance to use it yet, but it's on the to-do list, and James really wants feedback on it. So it's kind of something he's actively developing right now, which is awesome. So yeah, be really cool to go and have a play around with it. And if you haven't had a chance yet, I'd suggest that you do go and have a look.
Yep.
Something else that happened this week. So Niels tweeted a photo of a sneak peek at what we can expect in, as he described it, 20V18.
It's a kind of controlled leak, right?
Yes. So if we actually open this up in a bigger window, hopefully you can see a bit clearer. You can't. This is a sneak peek at what we might be able to expect in version 8. As you can see, the back office design has changed quite significantly. So they've introduced currently the kind of sections menu that sits on the left-hand side of the CMS has moved to the top, along with the users and the search now being along the top. I think that looks really, really sweet. The tree's still there on the left-hand side, but I think where the biggest changes is within this the properties on the nodes.
And that picture is one very interesting thing.
Yeah. So you can see here they've got like field groups. So these are in accordions that you can toggle and close. I guess maybe that's going to replace tabs, which is really interesting. Also along the top, you can see they've got a content. They've got a content like tab, but then there's also a variants tab. I think that says analytics and then info. So they've seemingly split out some of the tabs to add additional functionality to the CMS to support the segmentation and variants. Right now, this is just a preview. This is not real. They've not built it yet, but this is again pretty interesting. It looks like it could be really, really powerful, and they've clearly really thought through the usability of it. I was concerned that maybe we'd have, by adding all these variants, we'd have a load of UI complexity in the back office, but the editor experience there looks really, really sweet. So I look forward to seeing some more, like even some working examples of this, maybe in the coming few months.
Yeah, Callum, but there is still one very interesting thing on that picture. I don't know, did you see?
Hang on, let me reshare my screen. What's the very interesting thing that I made?
Look closer at this image. On what computer
He's on a Mac.
open that side?
Yes, he's on a Mac.
Yeah.
But
because we use Umbraco 8 core, so there is no limitation for OS system.
It won't be on the V8, but yeah, the interesting part was if it was opened on the local server on the Mac or not, because maybe thinking more about this headless idea of Umbraco and things around this topic, it would be possible to separate maybe a front-end application from a backend data, and the backend data with Umbraco may live on the separated server, still .NET server, and the front-end app maybe running on any other hosting environment. That would be pretty cool. And I was even thinking lately about consuming the REST API in some other endpoints, for example, Xamarin mobile apps or anything else like that. And it is possible right now, and definitely will be easier and more accessible if the headless V78-ish version will be released. But yeah.
But for me, this picture means one thing: we can put all code on not Windows environment. Linux server and, for example,
HQ have confirmed that is not happening in V8, so we can't expect that until at least V9. The thing that Marcin mentions is very interesting, potentially being able to host your back office just kind of in a local standard web server and talking to a headless API. I wonder if they would go ahead and do something like that. Maybe not for V8, but maybe in the future. That's a really, really interesting idea. Niels has also confirmed that demo is not a prototype in any way. It's just a flat design right now. So they've just been designing the UI, but the potential for it, I think, is really big, and I really look forward to seeing a working version of it in the next few months.
He tweeted today about the headless server thing as well. He was having some fun with it, so hopefully there'll be some follow-up tweets to that as to what they're up to. But the demos that I saw in the PL Festival and UK Festival really had me drooling. He
said that there's been an unprecedented amount of interest in trying out headless. So you can sign up and email them on headless@umbraco.com, and they'll give you early access to it. But they've had so many people email that it's going to have to wait a little while until the start of next year. He said Q1 2018. But again, that's another really exciting thing coming up.
Yeah, that's a good summary. So we are all waiting. We're all looking forward for it. And I was probably the first one who wanted to sign up to this headless at umbraco.dk because the email wasn't set up at this moment yet. when I sent this message, it was during the UK festival, and yeah, we are all looking for it because me personally, I was playing with Xamarin lately, and this is what I thought. I thought about the back office access and control panel and navigated from the mobile app. And I also saw this 24 Days article lately about combining data from Umbraco and web APIs into some Xamarin app. And as a transition to other topics, we've had a great article this week, right, Callum? And we had articles about Examine, which is the topic also about our today's training. It was about Xamarin. What else we had this week?
There's been some really interesting 24 Days articles, actually, because it's been running a week now. We've had some articles from Lucy Brailsford, who that's Matt Brailsford's wife, and she helped organize Code Cabin with Matt and Lee. She did some recipes from her cookbook about things she cooks for the attendees of Code Cabin. That was a really nice article. The Emma Burstow did a really nice article as well. Carl Tynan did a really good article. He's from the Bristol community. Shout out. He did an article about public speaking and building up confidence to be kind of active in the community. That was a really, 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 really fantastic article. The thing that I think my favorite this week has been the Examine to Elasticsearch thing. It's like technical and really gritty. Maybe Ismail, maybe you have some thoughts on that as the Examine guru.
Sorry, the Elasticsearch.
Yes.
The article itself was really, really good, very well written. I guess coming at it from the point of getting a bit more deeper into how Examine works and being able to write your own searcher, your own indexer. There's a lot of sort of useful tidbits in there. Very, very good article. The other thing that I really liked was the way that he was tying into Elasticsearch. And we've had a play before with what's it called, the Umbraco Elastic project, which we're actually using on a website, which was really good. But I quite liked how simple it was to be able to work and be able to manage everything through Examine, but push the data into Elastic. There may be a few caveats there as to one thing I couldn't quite see was how you would set, for example, the analyzer, because you're pushing that data into Elasticsearch. You'd maybe need a way of somehow mapping, if you were doing different languages, how you would tell Elastic. You probably have to code it yourself somehow and pick it up from the configuration file. But there may be a few issues there with that. But it's something that I wouldn't mind having to play with, because we've got one of our sites which is heavily powered by Examine, but it's sitting in Azure. And that has its own issues, because at the moment we're not able to blob Examine indexes into blob storage. There is something experimental there, but it would be nice if we could put that into Elastic in the cloud, and then the issues that potentially you have with having stuff on Azure, you'd get around those. But overall, it looked really good. It was a very good article.
Yeah, I really liked the how Tristan had used the all the existing Examine configuration and just wired it up in the background to post off to Elasticsearch, because that way we don't have to learn anything new, like configuration wise. I've done a lot with Elasticsearch recently, and using the packages Mel mentioned, Umbraco Elasticsearch, which is very good and very powerful, but there's a lot of bootstrapping and configuration that you have to do just to get it to work, whereas this would essentially work out of the box with Umbraco. Which is really nice concept. I think maybe there's a place for both approaches as well. Because
yeah, it depends what you're trying to do. I mean, the other thing that I liked about Tristan's solution is that the actual getting of the data to shove into the index is already done for you, because Examine does it. And it does it in a smart and efficient way, and it queues everything properly. You don't have to worry about that. That's all done for you. All you worry about is just pushing that data into Elastic. But the other cool thing that you potentially get is the gathering node data event. So if you need to post-process something, you can do that potentially. The only thing I guess you wouldn't be able to do is document writing, because document writing gives you access to Lucene.net. And in this instance, you're not actually getting down to Lucene.net. You're getting to Elastic. So maybe you'd have to implement something there as well, which could be interesting. But tying in with that, something I wanted to just mention very quickly, that Matt Brailsford just yesterday pinged me about something which was quite interesting. So on the course, we do cover or touch upon boosting and the Lucene.net scoring algorithm and how it scores things. But Matt came to me the other day, was asking a question that what he wanted to do was actually come up with a random scorer. So he does a search, gets back a result set, but what he wanted was to be able to pick out random results. But what he didn't want to do was do that search and then do something in LINQ, for example, to actually get you the random item, which you can do. So he was looking at the idea of being able to do a custom scorer, which you can. You can't quite do it with Examine itself, but there may be a way. But we did find some code on Stack Overflow, which shows you how to do a random scorer. So you give it your query, pulls back the data for you, but then the ranking of the results, it's done randomly with a random scorer. But I can give a link to that if anybody wants to.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description for that. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, and the only thing which I asked Tristan about was to have a kind of comparison of two approaches. So if we are going to replace one engine with another, it will be good to see what improvements it will bring to, or what are advantages or disadvantages of choosing one or another. So some kind of comparison, even chart or data or just numbers for specific searches or data sets would be really useful for everyone who will be trying to discover new solutions.
Yeah, fantastic. Maybe okay. Let's skip on to some other news that's been happening this week as well. So a few weeks ago, Marcin, you mentioned our development of the umbracofestival.com account. Website, and this was designed to be like the idea of this is it's a portal for all Umbraco festivals in the world. You can go and you can see all the information about what's happening, what's coming up. So we have launched in beta, it's very beta, the umbracofestival.com site. So you can go and check it out now. There'll be some bugs and stuff, so please let us know. Ping us a message if you find something. There's currently some data in there about the festivals coming up. So we've got Umbraco Down Under Fest, Umbraco Festival Deutschland, the Code Garden event. Also, we've got some exclusive news.
So, announcements.
two big announcements. We have dates for the Umbraco UK and Poland Festival. The Poland Festival will be happening on the 21st of September this year in Krakow. And the UK Festival is happening on the 8th and the 9th of November in London. Details to be announced, but that's all up there now. Mark the dates, put them in your diary, book your flights, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you definitely need to get out to the Poland one. Krakow is awesome.
Yeah.
And everything's dirty.
Yeah, and I smiled when you said, Callum, that we've designed this website, but just to mention, we've used a template, and this is a great opportunity for all of the community members to help us improve this website, because we know the purpose of it. We know why we wanted to have a website like this. And when I released a timeline and calendar last year on my written on my whiteboard, it brings a lot of interest from the community, because there is a lot of freaks like us who wants to travel across the globe and to discover knowledge together with exploring new places. And I think that those freaks will help us to build amazing websites from it. And I think that we will open source it a little bit sooner or later. But right now, if you will spot anything, you want to add anything to this website, your event, your description, anything else, just ping us, and we will give you an access or change it for you. And let's make this better for all of us and helpful for all of us.
Yeah, we've also got a Twitter account, which we're in the process of bringing to life. So the idea of this Twitter account will be that we share news from all of the Umbraco festivals around the world, and it's like a central hub for you to see announcements, updates, etc. In fact, this week, US Fest changed their name. They are now called Umbraco US Fest. Yes. Umbraco US Fest. I keep saying US Fest. Umbraco US Fest. And they changed their Twitter handle to Umbraco Festival, which we were like, we wanted to use that for something. So they very kindly changed it to facilitate that, and we've now got that Twitter handle that we'll use to promote all Umbraco festivals. We're going to kind of create automated tweets and stuff that come from the website. So this is watch this space. We're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff with umbracofestival.com and the Umbraco Festival Twitter account over the next month or so.
So if anyone wrote any Twitter bot helping to retweet any tweets with specific sets of hashtags, let us know, because this is what we want to include there, because we want to have everyone updated and just know everything about everything what's going on around the globe with Umbraco and events like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to mention?
Yes, so there's a couple of little things that we just wanted to mention. So Ismail, you've submitted a talk for the DDD Scotland event.
Yeah, that's going to be in February in Glasgow. Yes. So I'm looking forward to that. And just today, I've actually been requested to speak. I'm a bit concerned about this one, but I went to Blockchain Manchester a couple of weeks ago, and I'm on their Slack channel, and I've been experimenting with blockchain on Azure, and I've managed to get something working. So I was kind of talking about it on the Slack channel, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well you can come and do a quick lightning talk and show what you've got working on Azure." So they want me to come and speak at some point at one of their next meetups, but I don't know whether I will do, because a lot of things could go wrong. But
yeah, let's do it.
But the talk submitted for DDD Scotland, which I've been to DDD North a few times, never been to DDD Scotland, but the DDD events are really, really good. They're not exactly, they basically cover all kinds of different topics, and not just specifically anything in the .NET world, but different things. But they're really, really good. They have loads of good prizes and swag. So hopefully, if the talk gets accepted.
So voting is now open. For those that don't know or aren't familiar with DDD, you submit talks, and then they open a voting period where people can go on and say, yeah, I'd like to vote for the talks that I'm interested in, and then they choose the most popular ones. So voting opened today, I believe, or opens later today. So go on there, vote for Ismail. Also, the event's actually being organized. Carol Logan, who is of Umbraco Glasgow meetup fame and is very, very well known in the Umbraco community. She's one of the organizers of DDD Scott. So if you fancy going along, make sure that you sign up and go out and support all the work that people have been putting into this. So it should be a good event. I was hoping to go, however, it's going to coincide with my trip to Down Under Festival. So sadly, I can't make it.
It's free, by the way. So if anybody's thinking they're going to pay, the only thing is it's on a Saturday. But one thing I will say, their prizes are awesome. So the DDD North one, they were giving away, I think it was 2 tickets to NDC London, and those are worth about $3,000 each. So I don't know whether they're going to have NDC tickets again to give away, but usually the swag's pretty good. I won an AI book, which was awesome. Still not read it, but here you go.
Yeah, and about talks, I submitted a talk to the first online conference here in Poland, online.net conference, which is streamed via YouTube, and I've got submitted and accepted. So I will be talking about C# features, those latest features from 7.x and 8 on the online event on December 16th. So if there are any people who understand Polish, feel invited. I'm pretty interested how the whole online event will go, and I'm even in the topic of our online meetups and episodes like that. It's still something what definitely can bring more people in front of their computers. And yeah, if you don't want to travel, you don't want to spend your personal time just going to events, you can always access events like that or organize events like that. Yeah. So it's something what just fired some lamp on my head to think about it in the future.
Definitely. Okay, so we've kind of been going for about half an hour now, so maybe we should try to wrap up. Marcin, did you want to maybe mention something quickly about training?
Yeah, sure. So as I said on the beginning, we are running exam trainings today here in Poland. We are all looking forward for new opportunities in the new year and new people wanting to train themselves in any area of the Umbraco knowledge, not only here in Poland, but also maybe in other places in the world. And observe umbraco.com and sign up to Umbraco newsletters to be up to date with any discounts and promotions for the trainings. And yeah, just feel free to extend your knowledge, and this is definitely the best source of Umbraco knowledge, which is signed up by.
Yeah, and as Ismail said towards the start, the schedule for 2018's training's up. So if you want to go and sign up now, plan out your training calendar for the year. Obtain that Umbraco Master certification, just skill up on new things. Also, watch out for like conferences that are offering training, and also, yeah, like explore what's going on in the community. So have a look on umbracofestival.com, check out the festivals or meetups and events that might be happening near you. Go along, learn, improve your skills. Okay, so there was Ismail. Did you have anything that you wanted to say just to finish up?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, fantastic. So I've got 2 things just to finish up with. So I was going to mention Pete Duncanson's Scrift article. He wrote a really, really good article on Scrift this month. It's about kind of addiction to coding, and I can really relate to that because I often will spend late nights coding. It's like one last bug to fix and whatever. And he said that he's only really realized since transitioning from developer to managing director and being more on the business side that the importance of not burning yourself out, not working yourself too hard on code, or that addiction to I've just got to fix one last bug, or just one more hour, just one more feature. It's quite easy to go down the rabbit hole when you're developing. So yeah, it's a really, really good article. Highly recommend reading it, and we'll put a link in the description. The final thing I wanted to say, just to summarize the entire thing, is it would be great to get some feedback from the community on how this is going, what people think, how we could improve, what kind of content and topics do you want to hear, and also which speakers, which people would you like to join us. If you'd like to join us, send us a message and we'll happily have you on. We've got a few rough plans of things we'd like to discuss, a variety of things from like meetups to business focused talks, or just don't have to be entirely Umbraco focused. We can get a broad range of things. So if you're interested, come along and send us a message on Twitter. But also, we'd love to know your feedback. So if there's something we could improve, some content you'd like to see, then please do let us know. And to add to that, we'd like to do a Christmas special. So we're going to be off for Christmas from the 22nd, and we'll be back on the. We'll do another event on the 5th of January. So we'll take a break during the Christmas week, but the 22nd will be our last show before Christmas. If there's anyone special that you'd like for us to see on that, or you have any ideas for that, please let us know. Send us a message on Twitter. We'll maybe put a poll out to say like which speakers you think we should have. Yeah, that's all, I think.
Or leave a comment here on YouTube. If you're here in YouTube, feel free to suggest us anything. We will probably release a survey on Google Forms or something like this to let you leave your feedback and notes and thoughts about everything what we are doing. We are open for contributions, and we are willing to have you here with us. And yeah, that's a good wrap up.
Yep, I think that's it.
Yeah, so we are getting back to training to finish on time. Yeah, so thanks, guys. Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, everyone. See ya.
Yeah, bye-bye.